Hey everyone, welcome to 59 Topps Friday, presented by Wax Pack Wisdom, where we talk baseball history through the cards we love. My name is Jake T. O'Donnell. We built the iconic 1959 Topps baseball set, and in this series, we're going through every card to talk about the players, teams, and people who made up Major League Baseball in 1959. Today, we'll cover cards 30 through 39 in the set. Card number 30 belongs to Nellie Fox of the Chicago White Sox. 1959 was his 13th big league season. Fox was a small-town Pennsylvania teenager when he signed with the A's, but he only appeared in 98 games for them before he was dealt to the White Sox for Joe Tipton after the 1949 season. This became one of the most lopsided trades of the era, because Fox almost immediately blossomed into the best second baseman in baseball during the 1950s. He was spectacular defensively, winning the first Gold Glove in 1957 and two more later. He was durable, appearing in over 150 games 11 times. But most notably, Fox had few peers in MLB history at putting the bat on the ball and avoiding strikeouts. In over 10,000 MLB plate appearances, he struck out just 216 times, an astonishing 2.1% rate in a 19-year career. In 1959, he hit .306 with 191 hits and a .380 on-base percentage to go with Gold Glove second base defense for the pennant-winning White Sox. For this, he won the 1959 American League Most Valuable Player Award. While his counting stats may seem pedestrian, he never hit for much power and only had 2 homers in 1959. He was a tick below Mickey Mantle in wins above replacement, and by Bill James's win share system, Fox in 1959 was the only American leaguer to best Mantle in a season between 1954 and 1962. A few years later, Fox finished his career with Houston, where he mentored a young Joe Morgan. Sadly, Fox did not live long enough to see his own Hall of Fame induction. He died in 1975 at the age of 47 during his 4th year of eligibility. The Veterans Committee posthumously inducted him into baseball's Hall of Fame in 1997. Card number 31 belongs to Ken Layman of the Philadelphia Phillies. Layman pitched parts of 4 seasons in MLB but did not appear in any games in the majors in 1959. He pitched briefly for Brooklyn in 1952, 1956, and 1957, then Baltimore in 57 and 58, before latching on with Philly. He would not actually pitch for the big league club until 1961. After a year in the minors in 1962, he called it a career. Layman pitched 265 MLB innings and had a 3.91 ERA. He later was the head baseball coach at the University of Washington. Card number 32 belongs to Don Buddin of the Boston Red Sox. 1959 was Buddin's 3rd season in the major leagues. After missing the 1957 season due to military service, Buddin established himself as the Red Sox everyday shortstop in 1958, hitting 12 homers that year and 10 the next. Despite steady offense, Buddin was notably shaky at shortstop, with the media suggesting his license plate number be changed to E6, and Red Sox fans derisively referring to him as Bootin' Buddin. He was traded to Houston before their first season in 1962, and Buddin started at shortstop in the franchise's first major league game. Card number 33 belongs to Ed Fitzgerald of the Washington Senators. 1959 was Fitzgerald's 12th and final season in Major League Baseball. He debuted with Pittsburgh in 1948 and spent most of his career as a backup catcher for the Bucks, then the Senators, and for part of 1959, the Indians. He was productive in action for the Senators in 1954 and 1956, hitting .289 and .304 in those seasons, respectively. Fitzgerald is remembered for breaking up White Sox ace Billy Pierce's bid for a perfect game in June 1958. He spent time as a coach and minor league manager after his playing career ended, and then worked for the state of California's Office of State Printing for nearly 20 years. Card number 34 is the next multiplayer card in the 1959 Topps set, Pitchers Beware, featuring Detroit Tigers Hall of Famer Al Kaline and All-Star slugger Charlie Maxwell. Let's see what Topps has to say about this duo. Pitchers beware, Kaline and Maxwell. Between Al and Charlie, 150 runs were chased across the plate for the Tigers last season. Kaline, only 24 years old, has already worn the crown as the batting champ of the American League with a robust .340 mark in 1955. He earned the honor of being the youngest player to win the batting title. Al has averaged over 19 homers per year in his 5 active seasons with Detroit. Sharing the outfield with Al is Charlie Maxwell, who can deliver the key blow and pound the ball out of the park with regularity. In 1956, his first full season at Detroit, Charlie belted 28 round trippers and posted a .326 batting mark. Al and Charlie compose one of the tightest defensive outfields in the majors. In 1957, Charlie won the fielding honors for junior circuit fly chasers. Last year, it was Al's turn to grab the glory. Card number 35 belongs to Ted Kluszewski of the Pittsburgh Pirates. 1959 was his 13th big league season. The hulking Kluszewski made his debut for the Reds in 1947 and shortly thereafter became a sensation because of an alteration to his game uniform. He claimed the tightness of his jersey restricted the movement of his gargantuan shoulders and biceps, so for the balance of his career, he wore cut-off sleeves. Kluszewski's power potential didn't match his numbers until 1953, when he began a 4-year stretch dominating National League pitching, averaging 43 homers a year and hitting .315. In 1954, he led the National League in homers with 49 and finished second in MVP voting. Injuries started taking their toll in 1957, and he was dealt to Pittsburgh for 1958. Late in the 1959 season, the White Sox added Kluszewski to their lineup for some power during their pennant push. He hit just 2 homers down the stretch, but batted .297 and played steady first base as the White Sox took the AL crown. Kluszewski saved his best for the brightest stage. He smashed 2 homers in a Game 1 World Series rout of the Dodgers, launched another in Game 6, and hit .391 overall in a losing effort for the Palehose. He retired in 1961, became a hitting coach for the Reds during their Big Red Machine 1970s era, was elected to the Reds Hall of Fame, and had his number retired by the franchise. Card number 36 belongs to Hank Aguirre of the Detroit Tigers. 1959 was Aguirre's 5th season pitching in the majors. Despite those years, he would not gain a more permanent foothold in an MLB pitching staff until 1960. The lefty's best year was 1962, when he won 16 games with a 2.21 ERA in 211 innings and 11 complete games for the Tigers. Aguirre appeared in both MLB All-Star games in 1962, and he earned MVP votes as well. He pitched for the Indians, Dodgers, and Cubs in a 16-year MLB career, and was later a successful business owner in Detroit. Card number 37 belongs to Gene Green of the St. Louis Cardinals. This was his 3rd year in the big leagues. He played 3 years with the Cardinals, followed by a brief stint in Baltimore, and then time with the expansion version of the Senators, then the Reds, and Indians. Green was taken by the new Senators in the expansion draft before their first season. His 2 mostly full seasons were with St. Louis in 1958 and Washington in 1961. Green had the ignominious distinction of leading the league in grounding into double plays in both of those seasons. Card number 38 belongs to Morrie Martin of the Cleveland Indians. 1959 was the 10th and final season pitching in the majors for Martin. The journeyman pitcher was mostly a reliever over the course of his career, pitching for 7 different MLB teams: Brooklyn, the Philadelphia A's, Chicago White Sox, Baltimore, St. Louis, Cleveland, and the Chicago Cubs. He pitched 604 innings in the majors with a 4.29 ERA. More notable than his pitching career was his World War II Army service. According to author Gary Bedingfield's Baseball in Wartime, Martin was badly wounded in action at least twice. Quote, "At the Battle of the Bulge, he suffered a bullet wound to the thigh and nearly lost a leg after gangrene set in. It took more than 150 shots of penicillin to spare him from an amputation." Close quote. Card number 39 belongs to Ed Bouchee of the Philadelphia Phillies. 1959 was Bouchee's 4th season in Major League Baseball. After briefly debuting in 1956, Bouchee had a sterling rookie season for the Phillies the next year. Taking over as their everyday first baseman, Bouchee hit .293 with a .394 on-base percentage and hit 17 homers. He finished second in 1957 NL Rookie of the Year voting to his teammate Jack Sanford. Bouchee would never reach the heights of his rookie year again, and he was dealt to the Cubs in 1960. The Mets took him in the expansion draft ahead of 1962, and he played for the 120-loss inaugural team before leaving MLB. That's going to do it for this edition of 59 Tops Friday on Wax Pack Wisdom. Do you have a story about one of the people, players, or teams we discussed today? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our Wax Pack Wisdom content. In the video description, you will find our source material for this episode, links to where you can follow us on all social media channels, as well as a list of our favorite nonprofits and charities. Please consider a donation to one of them if you enjoyed this content. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on Wax Pack Wisdom. Take care.